Well, yeah, we'll jump into it. Yeah, once again for the great minds and I'm talking about 4th&10. Got the homie Grace. You go by Grace, right?
Ayo, Rel Pete.
I don't know what to say, real. Hold on.
Ride around the city and you know I got the top back. Ayy, 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 ayy. Heard them niggas plotting on a daddy, better stop that. Ayy, 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 ayy. Run up on who, guaranteed I'ma cop back. Ayy, 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 ayy. Can't run the city, don't know how, cause I locked that. Ayy, 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 ayy. Ride around the city and you know I got the top back. Ayy, 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 ayy. Heard them niggas plotting on a daddy, better stop that. Ayy, 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 ayy. Run up on who, guaranteed I'ma cop back. Ayy, 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 ayy. Clean and run.
You go by Grace, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Where you from? What's your hood? What's your squad? What you repping?
I am from Northern Virginia, specifically in the Chantilly area. Um, my home squad is GodBods, of course. And yeah.
What sports you played growing up?
I actually didn't play too many sports, except for golf. I was more into music, so I dedicated a lot of time playing music instead. But I only picked up sports or like flag football specifically in college for like intramural sports.
Okay. And when you say music, you played instruments? What'd you do?
Yeah, I played a lot of piano and violin. So yeah, it's still fun. I still try to play once in a while just for fun. Try not to forget.
Okay. Who put you on the flag? Who brought you out?
So I knew of the flag football community and just the game itself because in the Korean community, they have like this annual turkey bowl that happens for high school students. So a lot of like the Korean churches, they get together and they play. But I didn't grow up going into church and all that, so I wasn't really exposed to flag football or that tournament. But a lot of my friends who did play, I would naturally hear about it from them. And then come college time, I just started picking it up. So
Okay. What's your favorite format?
um favorite format, I would have to say is probably five co-ed or co-ed aired out. Mostly because I get to play with Danny as my QV. So I really enjoy those.
Okay. Ideally, what position do you want to play when you pull up?
Ideally, probably center or receiver. To me, those are kind of interchangeable. I don't really care which one, but yeah, just anything on offense, really. I do love playing defense. However, if we want to win, probably don't want to keep me off defense.
You got the same philosophy I got. All right, who's the best QB you play with?
Best QB, obviously I'm gonna say Danny. But if we want to answer other than Danny, um, best QB, um, I would say I really do enjoy playing with Lincoln when I do get a chance. Sometimes he comes and plays for co-ed once in a while, and I really think he's a very seasoned QB. Um, and on the women's side, um, I really, really enjoy playing with Lena Sun.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Okay. And you play quarterback yourself, correct?
once in a while, I will play if I have to, if the team needs me to. Um, but yes.
Okay. Who's the best DB you played against?
Ooh,
Or somebody that gives you fits?
yeah, somebody who like I am afraid to throw to on that side is probably Xena.
Mm.
Um, Xena, she plays a lot of middle linebacker when I play against her. Luckily these days we've been playing together, so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, she is kind of unpredictable in the middle.
Okay.
Like when you read defenses, you kind of tell your QB like what the tendencies are, like what they like to bite on and whatnot. So But she is kind of hard to read because I think she kind of picks and chooses what she attacks. So I mean, as a QB, that's really hard to just read on the fly too. So it's kind of hard to make plays around that. So I would say she definitely is a big challenge for me.
Okay, okay. What's tougher, reading the defense as a quarterback or cooking a defender off the line as a receiver?
Like more challenging.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, definitely probably reading the defense, like especially from a QB's perspective. I can make the pre-read, but once the play's going, I'm like, that is not what I thought it was gonna look like.
What's harder, being consistent as a receiver or being consistent as a quarterback?
Ooh, yeah, I definitely think quarterback has it harder, especially the amount of times you have to throw in the game versus the amount of um, looks you get as a receiver to catch it. So the chances of like you messing up at QB is much higher, of course.
Okay,
So yeah, it's definitely harder to stay consistent as QB, I
okay,
would say.
okay. Best and worst tournaments. Let me hear them.
Um, Best tournament would have to be one of the Weekend Warrior ones. I always love going to Weekend Warrior Worlds or Nationals down in Mazeppa Park in Charlotte.
Mhm.
So those are always really well run and really fun, and the competition level is like very good too. So it's very like fulfilling if we do win. So I would say maybe the worst tournaments. Um, Sometimes some of the local ones, they're still well run, but not as many teams come out. So it's a little hard to, you know, I guess just have like a that satisfaction of that full day of having a tournament. So maybe like a localish tournament.
Okay, okay. What tournament is still on your bucket list?
Bucket list now I would say is the LA 2027 Worlds. I just think it was a really good idea to switch up the location for Worlds, and it being in summer is really
Mm,
enticing to want to go to. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope I can make that one.
okay, okay. What city or country is still on y'all bucket list? Because y'all do this travel thing very well.
Um, like in terms of leisure traveling.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Leisure traveling, I would love to explore Greece.
Mm,
Never been. I've been to Europe a couple times, but yeah, Greece is definitely one of them. Or New Zealand. I think just New Zealand is so pretty. So yeah, and I love nature. So
okay, okay. Were y'all both into travel like that? When and how did that kind of start?
so I wasn't as into traveling as much as Danny was when I first met him. But we started like with some small domestic trips like New York, Chicago, Boston, and then after that it was like, all right, let's book our tickets to Norway, like let's go to Korea and Japan. And it's just ever since then, like um I've always had this like travel bug. And yeah, we also really enjoy going snowboarding, so that gives us another opportunity to want to go out and travel for snowboarding too. So
Okay, okay. Back to the field. You made noise quick. What clicked for you that helped you rise so fast in the game? Or do you feel like it was a long road?
um I would say it did take a while, and I appreciate the kind words, but yeah, no, my journey has been a long time. Like I've been playing for what, 10 years, which well, I've been out of college for more than 10 years, but yeah, so um yeah, I think my journey has been steadily growing over the past 10 years, and there was no one point where I was like, whoa, like I'm improving like a lot. No, I just feel like every year I look back and I start trying to hone in on some things that I wish I could get better at. And of course, like not every receiver or just player in general is going to be perfect in all aspects of that position. Um, but just working on some of the weaknesses, making it not as much of a weakness as prior years. I think that's kind of the goal that I strive for.
Okay, okay. You and Danny clearly put work in before game day. What does that prep look like, and how long have y'all been like that?
Um, we So, me and Danny, we do work out a lot. I would say it's not any type of special program or anything like that. In fact, it's more like it's like that 2 week period of no classes in college, and you just have 2 weeks to just study for your final exam. And literally, like 2 weeks before the tournaments, we just go ham. We like practice every day for like 3 hours, working on different things like maybe like high balls, low balls, back shoulder passes and stuff like that, or flag movements like hip movements and stuff. So yeah, each day will be a little concentrated on that leading up to the tournament. And yeah, I mean, there's not that much you can do in our chosen 2 weeks before the tournament to get drastically better,
Yeah.
but we just want to hone in on some skills.
Okay. Okay. Keep it real. What's the hardest part? What's the hardest part about playing with your significant other?
Hardest part, I would say, is, like we talk about flag a lot on our free time too. And it's fun, like we talk about philosophy, and naturally over time, I would say me and Danny's philosophy has almost merged or like combined because we come to agreements on things. And so, like when it comes to game time, um, if there's something that had happened that is different from the philosophy that we talked about, it's like, hey, like, why don't we do this? Hey, aren't you supposed to do this? So I think that's where kind of like our bickering or arguments kind of come from. Obviously, they're not like long lived or anything, but like we kind of just like nudge each other saying, hey, that's not what we talked about. So I think being so close to each other and sharing the field all the time, it's like we kind of expect very high standards from each other. So I would say that.
Okay. Okay. All right. What part of your game are you still working on improving?
Um, I think my biggest part that I want to keep improving on is probably my speed. I think also, because I didn't grow up playing a lot of sports, I wasn't as into like working out or anything like that ever. I think like any kind of natural athletic ability, I am pretty far behind on. So I do want to keep working on that. When I do go to the gym, I try not just to like go for strength training, but I try to do a lot of like more plyometrics and explosive power type of movements too, that can help translate into my game. So yeah, just kind of keep working on like lateral movements and speed, agility, all of that. So
Okay. Okay. In your eyes, what separates highlight players from championship players?
ooh, highlight players, I think. Um, I think everybody has a highlight, and everybody works hard for those highlights, and it's great to see. Like, I mean, but championship player, I would say, fits more into like your role for that team.
Hmm.
So, like, if my role, let's say I'm a rusher, right? But, my role for co-ed is they needed a center instead. Then, like instead of just my rushing highlights and whatnot, I will more than happy be willing to just snap and play my center role. So I think it's just whatever the team needs is what defines like a championship player. So
Okay.
Real quick though, ain't nothing changed. Y'all know the motto right here. Support your own, cuz support is important. So real quick though,
Do you see your brand more as merch or as part of the culture, and why?
So it just depends on which brand, because as you know, I have multiple. So the Pretty Girls Play Flag is definitely part of the culture because it's aimed to elevate and promote the women's game, and to change the narrative that, to be a flag football player as a girl, you have to be rough, rumble, and tumble. Like you can't be dainty and still play, which is, not accurate.
What's your flag football toxic trait?
ooh, I would say, especially for my own team, like GodBods, because it is something that like we work hard for and want to make sure everybody on our team has a good time. I think like my toxic trait is like being a little too particular with certain things and getting frustrated off of that. So for example, like if I see, you know, um if I see a play call and like this one person hasn't ever done it before, then I get like a little frustrated and like I like nudge Danny, hey, like why don't you bring like this person in or whatever, just like things like that. Or I of course I'm kind of hard on my team. So if like we miss flag pulls or drop passes, I mean myself included, like just very hard. And or I mean I don't lash out on anybody, but I take it to heart because I want our team to do well and produce well, especially knowing that all our players are so capable of
Mm.
making like high level plays. So yeah, I would say that's probably toxic of me, but
I mean, it's good that you know what it is. How long has it been? When did you realize that okay, this is something I might need to work on. This is my toxic trait. This is something I can't work on. This is just me. Like when it.
Um, actually, I think there was a point in time when me and like Danny we were arguing quite a bit in front of our friends.
Mm.
So I think that I really wanted to like work on and scale back, and we would talk about it all the time, like, hey, what's ticking you, like. And obviously like as the captains too, we don't want to display that kind of leadership either, like always arguing and whatnot. So we really wanted to work on that. And yeah, basically I think that we were just saying, hey, if one of us is going through high emotional stress, which it happens all the time in very like high level games, like just the other person kind of simmer down, let them have their kind of just 5 seconds to let it out. But then, we never take anything personally between each other. So, and I think that actually has helped us a lot throughout our tournaments and keep our, level headed mindset. And yeah, like obviously we don't want our emotions and like our frustrations with each other to open up an outlet for a lot of other people. Like we just want to make sure the culture within our team is um good. And yeah.
Yeah, I think I
Or-
asked that question because I have that same problem. I'm trying to work on that emotion also. Like
yeah,
it's kind
yeah,
of
it's
like
hard. I
it
mean,
is.
yeah, for sure,
And it's
emotions are
funny
going to
because
come out.
every people, the other players, they have a high expectation. They have a high expectation of themselves also. So it's like you can't be rude, acting like you're the only one with that high expectation. So like I said, I think I asked you two questions about that because I'm like, okay, what are you doing about this? Because I'm trying to work on it myself. Like maybe that's all right. What
uh,
feels better? Throwing a dot between defenders, catching a bomb from Danny, or hitting the Kai route on some dude.
the Kai route. All right, tell Kai that is now called the Grace route. And we'll take a vote on that anyways. Just kidding, Kai. Um, um, honestly, they're all pretty high moments. Maybe a deep bomb from Danny because one, you know, we don't really play that kind of game. So if that ever happens, that's pretty hype.
So
You don't
what's
really see
the
me going for deep passes and you don't really see him throwing them to me. So if that ever
okay.
happens in game, I'm gonna definitely be hype.
What's the route y'all usually link up on? You and Danny.
Um, hmm. Without revealing any secrets, which I'm sure that's not a secret anymore because film is everywhere, like people record and whatever. But I think, you know, he usually asks me like, what route can you get on this person, right? And at that point, it depends on like the distance, the down, and the tendency of that defender. So defender's playing a little inside, you kind of want to do stuff that goes outside of them because they're already going to be like a little step behind, stuff like that. So kind of it just depends. It depends on like the pre-read, the defender's tendencies, and then I kind of report back to Danny, hey, let's try this. So
Okay, okay. Favorite pair of cleats and jerseys. You know them? You have them?
I used to only be a Nike girl. Like me and Danny matching cleats all the time, but then I had to leave them because I think Under Armour's and Adidas, they're very underrated.
Wow.
So yeah, he's still on the Nike train, but I also have kind of wide feet, so Nike hasn't really been the most comfortable for me. Um, but these days I've been wearing or kind of flipping in between my Addy Zeros, I think they're called for Adidas,
Yeah.
football cleats, and then the Under Armour Spotlights. Very comfortable. Yeah.
Okay.
Hard
Like
to break in at first, but
I think this
comfortable.
is the third time somebody brought up the unarmed. Like I'm
Yeah.
proud of that. Man, yeah, people are going away from Nike mostly because of the feel, the comfort.
Yeah.
Comfort. Yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah. 4th and goal, 10-yard line. Where are you lining up? What route are you what route are you running? Who's throwing you the ball?
10-yard line.
Oh well.
Um,
You usually play small ball, so we're talking maybe fives.
oh, okay.
Okay, so y'all just got a first down. Y'all are at midfield.
Okay.
Y'all didn't do anything with the first two downs, so now it's third down and y'all have to score.
Oh my God. Third down, we probably just stay safe. Don't throw no picks. Like, don't give me the ball.
Well, we
No,
got
but
we got to score. So if it's not you or you're the decoy, who do you think the ball is going to? If you're the decoy, 'cause I think a lot of times I talk to people and they were like, "Well, I'm just a decoy, so the ball's going here." So if you're going to be honest like that, what's the play being drawn up?
um probably the safest is maybe like deep corners, throw the ball. Ultimately, in that situation, you most likely want like a jump ball type. If they come down with the ball, great. If not, hopefully it's just batted down or tipped away. So yeah, I mean, I in that situation, I go to center, I snap the ball, make sure it's a good snap, get out of the way on like an arrow or something. And then just have maybe like Chris Coates or something be down there for like a jump.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I'll bet. I'll bet. Well, yeah, that's 4 for 10. I'm glad we got the link.
The city don't know how, cause I locked that. I stun, I flex, I ball, I floss. But they already knew that. I stack that bread, won't take no loss. But they already knew that. Big dog in this bitch, not the one they wanna cross. Swear to God, them niggas knew that. Out the way, get money, move around with no flaws. Why the fuck they don't do that? Hey, I'm like Dolph in my city. Try to rob me, you get off in my city. They move off my cadence, I'm the boss in my city.
Players, podcasters, and the ones behind the cameras, to the GMs, OGs, refs, and girls coaches. That wraps up our off-season series, Talm Bout Flag. Shout out to everyone that made this happen. That's that community we be talking about. But spring 26 right around the corner, so Sunday morning recaps are coming back. And we still talking about tournaments and more. You already know them 4-for-10 is going to drop every Wednesday. As always, appreciate your support. Like, share, subscribe. We can keep this convo going. Now, Talm Bout. Yeah, once again, from the great minds of Nine Talm Bout Flag. Off-season series keeps rolling on, and this week we talking about the refs. The calls you hate, the ones you beg for, and everything in between. We talking about the pressure, respect, rule knowledge, and what it's really like reffing grown folks on Sundays. Let's get to it, though. Now, Talm Bout. How long you been reffing, and what formats do you usually do?
I've been reffing since the summer of 2021.
I've been reffing since spring of 2025. That was my first time reffing.
I'd say I've been reffing probably since I want to say 2010.
I've been reffing for going on a year.
Hey, when you gonna get me some gear? I mean, I mean,
Talk to me. What you need, man? Size the color. Let me know something.
Hold on 1 second. If you're rocking with what we're building over here, you can wear it too. Now I'm talking about merch out now. Tees, shooting shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts. Just a way to say you know what we're talking about. Now I'm talking about. Link in the bio. Support what supports the convo. Let's get back to it.
I like the one you had on. That was
Black
pretty.
and
That was
gold?
pretty. Go ahead and get that extra large. Let me know what the cost. I'll go ahead and
I got
buy
you.
a couple.
Bet that. I got you. Glad I finally got you on here.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for pulling up. I'm going to try to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. If that's cool with you.
Okay.
We're gonna have the 4th&10 conversation, and for the off season, I'm working on different convos about flag, and one of them is about refereeing. So I'm gonna ask you maybe 4 or 5 questions about that, if that's cool.
Okay, sounds good.